has relativity, but if we didn't think that way about it, and I mean we as a conscious society about how we feel about holidays, if we didn't think that way anymore, then no, it wouldn't have any relativity at all.
Okay, and I just want to let everybody know that I got our live stream up on YouTube. That's always kind of a second behind. I remembered to press the button today, so we have a YouTube stream. Just want to let everybody know if you're watching on Facebook or wherever you're picking up this program, be sure to give us a call live because we're not really paying attention to those other chat rooms. There are just too many elements that we have to micromanage here on the show. So give us a call live here at area code 319-527-6071. Again, that's 319-527-6071. We'll be here for the next hour or so until 11 Arizona time, thereabouts. I know I've scheduled a 90-minute show just in case we go over so it doesn't cut off of our stream. So I do want to get off to the phone lines today and take a new caller here from area code 504. Hi, you're on Celestial Intersections Radio. May I have your name and date of birth?
Yes. My name is Kelly, and my date of birth is 10/22/64.
Have I read you before, Kelly?
I don't think so. I don't know.
All right. So
I mean,
no worries. What time were you born?
At 11:38 a.m.
And where were you born?
Florida, Winter Park.
Winter Park. All right. And Kelly, would you like a general reading today, or would you just do you have a question about a specific issue?
I have a specific thing about the situation at work. I don't mean to be trite, but
Okay.
I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. So
About a work
sweet person,
issue.
but it just a work issue. Yeah.
And there's
Should
another
be
person
staying
involved, it
there.
sounds like?
There is. There's only one other person involved there.
All right. And
Nice
what's their first name?
Betty.
Betty. Okay. All right. Veretta, what you got?
Okay, so right off the bat, I know that Betty is a suitor that you don't want anybody to know who you're really talking about. So let me just say this. Betty is a biatch. I feel like she's the kind of individual that has to have her nose in everybody else's business. She really does think that and behind that is that she's not important, and she's insecure.
Yes.
So she
Nailed
tries
that,
to be.
boy.
Thank you. So she tries to be somebody that is all important and knows her stuff and can tell you how to get the job done because obviously she knows more than you. And if you rub her the wrong way or you just discount her and tell her to knock it off, stuff goes south quick because she has a point to whomever, a point to the bosses or the people higher up. And they use her, by the way. So she has her ear, and she's got a direct line to, let's say, inform on people, or
Right.
So now, and she carries a grudge. I'll tell you, if you rub her wrong way, if you rub her the wrong way at some point, she never gives that up. Like a dog with a bone,
Yeah.
she never gives that up. So,
Good.
so you want to know if it's going to get better? Yes and no.
No, I just want to see where it's going. Just where it's going.
Okay,
Am I going to stay there? Am I going to sour her and then really ruin my reputation financially even more? I mean, what's going to happen?
Yeah, no, you're not. You need this job, and it pays well. It's not something you want to give up or walk away from. So what you need to do is just draw a line and tell her, don't cross it. How do you do that? Well, you keep doing kind of what you were doing initially, and that's just keep your mouth shut and hope she goes away until you finally had enough, and then you kind of stepped up to her. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go back to the kind of ignoring her with that posture of, don't mess with me, woman. I've got dirt on you, and I can make you go away. Never will you ever tell her that you don't. Never will you ever tell her that even if you do have dirt, what the situation is. Just keep doing your job, and there's nothing that she can do that's going to make the higher-ups pay attention so that you're going to lose your space. don't worry about showing her up or getting in her face or wanting to tell her to knock it off. Just continue to do your job, and honestly, eventually she will go away because she doesn't have anything over you, because she can't control you with her nastiness, because there won't be a time where she can tell a boss, hey, she's doing XYZ, and that's a violation of our blah, 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 blah. So hang in tight there. Now, is this going to be indefinitely? Yes, but no. No. In a few worlds, maybe Ernesto can give us a time frame, but after a bit, you're not going to want to stay, but only until you've got a better job to go to, and or you can retire and not have to put up with her anymore. Ernesto, what did you pull up for her?
Yeah, Kelly. So I'm taking a look at your chart right now. A few things if you're watching our YouTube stream. This is Uranian Astrology. We don't use houses or signs in this system. We look at the symmetry of all of the planets and we ask separate questions of your chart. So you can see those colored dots on our screen, on my screen right now, and that refers to your work situation. What is that like right now? Well, I asked a separate question here right now, which is sitting at 14 degrees and 56 minutes, and this is about to be bullied, to be stalked, to be harassed. And because this is connecting to a work situation, would you say that, Kelly, would you describe this work situation with this experience with this other employee that, it's really super unpleasant. You really do feel bullied, kind of jailed, imprisoned in your job at this point?
Well, first, it's the owner and the only person. And second, it's really not bullied as much as you're just right on top. There's just no privacy, and it's micromanaged to a point that I am exactly like you said, like a jailed, I'm suffocating. And she seems like a very nice person, but you can't even make a noise. What's that? I can't live that way. I mean, my chest is so tight that I could barely breathe certain days.
Well, to put it bluntly, this job is really sort of emotional cancer that, you're so afraid to speak, to ask questions, to even exist for fear of, being lashed out at or, starting some nasty conversation or dialogue that, doesn't really need to be that complicated or that heated. And so what happens then when we're in these situations is that we keep our mouth shut because that's the only place that we really feel safe is, that if I just don't say anything at all, then I don't stir the pot, right? Well, it's not really how it works. I think that Veretta is on point, and I do agree that you are going to, be looking at some new career options here. I do think that, there is some new work that's coming down the line. I think that that job will probably be, I want to say around the summer, because by about the spring, you're going to be coming to terms with this work situation that you're in right now, where you're realizing, this just isn't for me. This is not healthy for like my own emotional state. That's kind of what it's going to come down to, because you'll come to terms with so much of like the hidden damage that this job has been doing to you at a psychological level, and it's just not going to sit well. So then I think you're going to start to go out into the world and get some new ideas, new options, and that new career path that's going to be coming to you, I want to say by about the summer again. That's something I can break down for you in a private consult, more about that timing, but there are some new job opportunities. So this is not the one, and I think that this job was presented to you for this exact reason of, I don't need to put myself in these emotional cancer situations, especially when this is, for my livelihood, that, that you can either work to live or you can live to work. And this is one of those things where, you're living to work, and that's kind of crappy. We don't want to be on that side of the coin.
Right. Thank you, guys. You're a lot of it is really spot on.
Well, it was great to have you on the show with us today, Kelly. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and we'll catch up with you real soon. Be sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out.
Okay, you too. Take care.
Thanks a lot. Take care until next time. Blessings. Okay, and we are going to catch up with our subscriber Amala here. Here we go from area code 860. Hi, Amala. Are you on the air with us? Can you hear me right now? Hello? Oh, I'm so sorry. I need to unmute your line. There we go. Amala, are you there with us?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes.
Okay,
Hi.
perfect.
Yay.
Yeah. So
Hi.
glad that you came back to us and found our new channel here.
I know. I am too. I'm really excited. It's interesting, Beretta, and I just wanted to update you and ask a question, but like the guy I was talking to, I only I had to grieve him. I had to do all this stuff. So since the fall, it's been a heck of a ride. It's just been really topsy turvy, and I finally surrendered him, and it's good. I feel, I had to go through all the feels in order to let that person go. So that said, I feel good. I feel lighter, like a butterfly. So I was wondering if you see me with somebody else, like a committed person coming up, and when that might be.
Okay. Well, we'll take a look at that. So just so you know, when I'm reading or giving you info, I don't usually store that in my subconscious. So when somebody comes back and says, "Remember what you told me," or "You remember so and so," I don't really remember, but that's okay, because when you connect with me then later, I take it from that moment and move forward.
Yes.
And so, do we have a new guy coming up from Alive? Yes. Woohoo! Okay. Yes and no. Okay. So the first, it would seem that the first person that really comes in contact that you maybe think, "Oh, I want to give this a try," may not be the right one. But whenever somebody crosses our path, there's a reason for it. So I feel like once this individual has exhausted whatever the reason them being in your life is for, after that, then you got the guy. You got the guy. It feels to me like it may take a bit for this to happen. Springtime, maybe June-ish. And of course, Vanessa will give us a better timeline on that. But it feels to me like, you've done the work with whoever the old guy was. And this time you're going to do the work with this new one for something else, or a little bit something different. But it's not going to leave you earth-shattering, heartbroken. It's not going to be something that tears you apart from the inside out and makes you wish you were dead. It's not going to be that type of relationship this time. I feel like actually in the parting it will be mutual. It will also be something that it's easy for both of you to walk away, and it's like no harm, no foul kind of feelings after the fact. So let's let Ernesto give us his input and see what we can make of that.
Okay.
So basically, you're saying, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to recap. So basically, you're saying this guy, there's going to be another person, but that it's going to be much softer in the sense of letting him go, and then the person I'm really attracted to will be coming in spring, June time. Is that what you said?
Well, I think the new guy, the guy that you're gonna have a softer time with, is coming in springtime, June.
Okay.
And I don't know how long that relationship will last. I'm not sure to what degree, what the intensity of it will be.
Okay. But I'm definitely done with that other guy, Gary, right? The one
Absolutely.
The one I let go. Good.
100%.
Thank you.
You may actually hear from him one more time, or there may be an attempt on his part one more time, but really it's not. It's a no-brainer. There's not going to be any appeal.
Oh, I told him. You know what? I just have to say this. You guys are awesome. Because you, Beretta, you and Ernie, you said it's all about boundaries, and this what this person was about. It's just I used to let things go, and it's just it kept on eating me up inside. And I wrote letters to him and didn't send it. It doesn't work for me. I had to email him and say exactly what I said, and it just felt so empowering. I have to say that to you, and I'm so grateful. When we talked, it was all about boundaries and getting stronger with saying what I mean, and actually, go following through and not holding back, which is important. So thank you. I want to say that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Ernie.
Hi, Amala. So taking a look at your chart here. So the last person that you were in contact with, that was all about boundaries. And so now there's just sort of some hidden unpleasantness that you're feeling. And that's more at an emotional level, it's just like the releasing of, I can fully close the door here, but there's still a bad taste in my mouth. There's still things that I haven't quite processed yet. And like that's kind of where you are right now, is processing all of that weirdness. Like I remember I had a conversation with you that this was the type of person who did not feel obligated or summoned when you would send a message to respond in a timely fashion. Me, as somebody with autism spectrum disorder, I want to cannibalize anybody who does not get back to me within 24 hours. So I don't know how you put up with that. Like our last caller, Kelly, that's exactly what I would refer to as an emotional cancer situation. So that's, like one big element of the unpleasantness that you're kind of still processing is like, people are weird when it comes to, communications and boundaries and all of that. But what is it that I want? Like I need to sort of distill the exact, item or, short list of like, this person has to meet these requirements. Because, like, have you done the exercise of you doing like a list of what your ideal partner looks like as far as their qualities are concerned?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So I mean, you're working more towards that, and what you're going to find in the process of working on yourself is that you become a lot more fierce when it comes to, I won't settle for anything less than what I've written here. And that's going to become more clear to you. I do agree that the spring is a great time frame. If you're watching our YouTube stream, there's some green arrows and there's some black arrows. So the green arrows, and this is, this is what's really great actually, because you're low vision. So you should be able to at least make out the colors. So, like the green arrows, that's going to converge at a certain spot on your chart, and where it converges on that red arrowhead, that's kind of the spot where we expect a relationship to come in. When those black arrows by the transits begin to meet up at those other arrow points that correspond with the green, then we're going to have a life event. So that'll be probably around the springtime that Jupiter by transit's going to move down to the opposite end of this relationship axis. What's going to end up happening is you'll have a triple pattern or a triple midpoint that'll fire off, and this is going to be for a love relationship, but I think it's going to be a pleasant love relationship. Like, this is the fun one. This is like the one that makes you feel good. This is the person that takes care of you and respects you. Like all of the other crap that you've had to knock out of the way getting this far. This is going to be this is going to be when all of the hard work finally pays off. So you're in that final push now of like, I need to work on myself, and whatever elements of myself I don't like, whatever it is that I feel like my partner does that I need to do also. Like, for example, for me, I realize my partner probably takes care of himself, so I should do the same. Like that, because if it's that mutual type of energy that we put out there, like these are going to be the things that you're going to be pulling in, and I think that it's finally going to come together for you. So that springtime is really something that you want to stay tuned for. And
so, like, you're seeing like March, April, or April, May. What's anything like you get strongly?
Yeah, I want to say like March to May, June. At the latest. So yeah, it'll definitely be in the spring when you come into contact with somebody, and I think that the person that you come into contact with also is going to really embody a lot of the spiritual characteristics that you desire in a partner. Like that you haven't really gotten that yet. You may have gotten like somebody who gets it. Somebody who's kind, somebody who's nice, but the spiritual aspect, you haven't gotten that yet. And
also. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also it's like meeting me halfway. I'm always doing the work. Like, this other person is another person. I just had to do 90%, and it was like I had to let go. That was a lesson learned. It's just like, stop trying to. And I didn't even push it, but I wanted it. I was hoping. There's a lot of hoping and yearning with this other person. So it's just like, that was my last lesson. I'm not doing that anymore. You meet me halfway. I can't do it anymore where I'm constantly, like, it shouldn't be that way anyway. Not at the beginning. No. Never,
not even throughout the relationship, honey. You shouldn't ever make yourself a pretzel trying to, create a safe haven for someone else when they're walking all over your boundaries.
Exactly. And it's just like, and the thing is, let it go. He means well. I would do that. I was doing it with him. Like, he'll come back. It's just like, you need to respond. Like, that's so disrespectful. How do I want to be treated? So a lot, and that's why, the harder, the more pain, or the deeper the scar, the the more healing there is to do. And I am grateful. It wasn't easy. I did lose more vision in December. So this past year, it's just been a heck of it was a ringer. Oh my God. I was just beside myself. But yeah, I mean, I finally I'll be honest with you too, I only started feeling better like 10 days ago, like February 1st. And that was huge because it was 6 months of blah, blah. And so now I'm finally I bought a candle for my, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you call in on Wednesday? Because I would like to address your health, but we don't have time for that today. I would like to address your health and why it is you took a decline. If it's possible for you to call in again, or do that. Or if you want a private session, ring me up or get online and book an appointment. Because I want to say that a lot of that, there's a point to that. And we want to make sure it doesn't keep happening.
Veretta, would you agree? Okay. I'm just curious from what I can see on this end about health stuff, because that kind of shows up on this access point as well. Would you agree that some of the health stuff might have been related, might have been psychosomatic?
Okay.
Well, psychosomatic, no. I would say not necessarily. I would say most definitely it did involve her experience, though, letting go of blah, blah, blah. So, but that's why I'm saying I'd like to look at that a little more in depth, because I think there are things we need to give you to safeguard against that.
Okay. I respect that. Thank you so very much for your time, and God bless, and we'll talk in divine time. I'm going to look you up, both of you, on your description page. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, and Amala, I just want to leave you with this before we hang up. I know we'll catch you on another show, but so we're talking about eyesight here. This is a really hot topic for me as another person who's low vision. So this is something I always look at, and it is kind of noticeable in your chart. It just kind of takes a seasoned astrologer to figure out that vision might be a problem for you. And in this particular case, the planets that are ruling vision are Hades, Poseidon, Sun, Moon, and the Meridian, which is the soul. So to break that all down as a language, Hades, Poseidon, Hades is going to be darkness, Poseidon is light, and then you have Sun, Moon, which are, the two luminaries out in the sky. That's also our relationships in a general sense. All relationships are Sun, Moon. And then the Meridian is the soul. So when you put all 5 of those pieces together, you end up with something like blindness. So this tells me, as the astrologer, that if the entire universe is truly built off of alchemy, like if the energy from our own actions create other things out in the universe, well, then we want to redirect a lot of that challenging health energy. Like if we know that, Hades, Poseidon, Sun, Moon, Meridian, if those are going to be 5 planets that we want to keep at the very highest possible vibration in your chart, well, let's take a look at that. So the first thing that I can tell you on the very negative end of Hades, Poseidon is that's going to be spiritual bankruptcy. So, whenever you've got like people who are not doing great spiritual things, or you're not living your ultimate truth and really following that path of light, then there's going to be some consequences to pay for that. And as far as, like the health stuff is concerned, I would really like to see you doing more with the spiritual, and perhaps in the Wednesday reading that we catch up with you, Beretta can give you some tips, or like point you into that direction to open up a new chapter, because I really feel like that's something that you would definitely benefit from, and that'll also cause a lot of healing on your end. So this is something that we can get into with you on our Wednesday show, but I did want to bring that up with you, Amala, that that we since you've had some health issues with regard to eyesight, that we do want to that there is a way that we can redirect that to hopefully have that be less distressing for you.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. I really do appreciate that, and I'm doing a lot of self-care and getting massages and candle and scent fragrances and aromatherapy, so that's helping. But I completely understand what both of you are saying, and I appreciate it, and I'd love to talk to you more in a private session, so we'll leave it at that.
All right.
So thank you so very much.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, and then one last thing about relationship, I just want to add this to you. This relationship, this is going
Yeah.
to be the one where, you were saying that you always have to do all the work. Well, now the other person is going to meet you halfway. This is that relationship where it's not exhausting
Oh
and
my
everything
God.
is easy and everything fits. Like I'm always of the belief, if the relationship is not easy, I don't want anything to do with it. And I've always lived by that.
Yeah.
I had one therapist who
It's so
said,
true.
I had one therapist who says, well, Ernesto, relationships are really a lot of work, and I tell her, I say, I don't believe that's true. How many times have you been divorced again?
It's so true. And I think that's why you go through the divine order of these people who come into your life is for that reason, for you to
Exactly.
figure out for yourself, for your higher
Yes.
learning and your soul purpose. Say, hey, you know what? I do deserve better. And why am I putting up with this? Why did I wait so long? Why did it take this long? Stop blaming myself and just really, march on. And that's my Sag energy. I love that about me. It's that, yeah, stuff happens, but I also know how to, move on. And when I'm ready to move on, I will march forward with gratitude. Yes. And compassion for myself. So I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I'm really excited for this new phase, chapter, stage in my life. And oh my gosh, it's wonderful talking to you both. It's so enchanting is the word. It really is. I just love
Thank
it
you.
because you talk my language.
Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, it was great to have you
All
on the
right.
show,
Can't
Amala.
wait-
We
can't
really
wait.
appreciate
Look
you.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah, and give us a call on
Thanks.
Wednesday at 6 p.m. We'll be here from 6 to 7, and we could take a look at your health stuff. And now that I know what I'm looking for, I can even prepare something in advance for you.
All right. That sounds great. Thank you so very much. Take good care.
Yeah, we'll catch up with you real soon. Until next time.
Okay. Yes.
Blessings.
Bye.
Okay, so Veretta, here's a question. I've been going through this experience with some healing stuff of my own recently. So I suffer from a hideous sense of body dysmorphia. What that refers to is what I see in the mirror is not what you see. So like what I see and what you see are two totally different people. Like and what's funny is the fact that I've got like this sense of reverse body dysmorphia. Normally you expect like Meg Ryan or Zac Efron, like these types of like really hot, beautiful people who are so attractive and popular and have all of this attention, and then they have to keep pushing themselves with like more extreme cosmetic surgery or more extreme weight loss or workouts or that kind of stuff because they don't see themselves in the mirror. And then I have a different sense of that to where like I am a big guy, like, and I don't see that. I see myself as something who I like some, ex-frat college jock is who I see myself as, but that's not what you see. And it's really funny because it actually kind of defines a lot of my actions. I won't get into a lot of that mess in my personal life, but where I'm going with this is the fact that I had a realization that through my own chart that this body dysmorphia that I experience in this lifetime is really a carryover from some karmic stuff that I didn't resolve in my last life. Point in case is there is a reasonable expectation that I was probably extremely beautiful and didn't recognize it in my last lifetime. And the reason I know that is because in this lifetime, I don't see myself still. And, I still very much wrestle and struggle with these issues in my life about like interpersonal relationships and love and intimacy and all of those things. So when I came to the terms with the fact that what I'm experiencing now is really just leftovers from the last timeline. This kind of lends to things like I think they refer to it as like zodiacal releasing, or I don't know, like some soul retrieval, or I can't think of the exact words. But Veretta, in the healing process, here's my question. By me, what is the value of me acknowledging that like my health and weight issues in this experience are connected to another lifetime? And that what I see in the mirror today is not me.
Okay, well, those are two different things. But what I will say to you is, yes, there could be bleed over from alternate lifetimes. However, you've got to remember that they probably weren't ran over by a truck. And that's the thing that you're missing. You're missing the fact that you were characterized by an incident, more than one, twice, that had to challenge you not to have a beautiful body, not to have a beautiful outlook on what you think you look like. And so because this is a bleed over from more than one, there are multiple references to you and how you felt about your body. One was, yeah, you overlooked your beauty, and the other was you knew exactly how good you looked and you took advantage of that. And so this time, you're not in a shell that is picture perfect, and you have to deal with the reality and come from that place of, yeah, people are going to look at me and be repulsed, or people are going to look at me and judge me, or people are going to look at me and they're just going to have a lot of pity. And I need to overcome all of that stuff to realistically look inside and say, okay, so I'm not perfect, but my body isn't perfect, but I am inside what I want. And that's enough. 100% right there. The whole phrase was what you really need to remember. You do feel like you have a good enough structure, a good enough body that it shouldn't characterize you. And it's the reality of that is not true, and it doesn't bring you what you want. People do look at you like that. Now, am I saying wither away and be, hide in the closet? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when the right person comes along, they won't care what you look like. They maybe won't share your opinion of your body, but they won't care that you've been backed over by a truck or you gained a lot of weight because you're limited on one side and you're not capable of really utilizing all of your faculties as far as your limbs are concerned. They won't care that it took you years and years of therapy to get past all the drama, and that where you came from was a very broken establishment in your childhood. They won't care about any of that, and therefore you shouldn't either. You shouldn't come from a place of, I'm Adonis and you need to worship the stud that I've got going on because this is who I am. No, it's not. Who you are is what you think you are. Who you are is what you make of yourself. Who you are is how you feel and what you portray that on the outside. So, and you got to always remember that a lot of times when it's the right person, they're not looking at your body. They're not looking at the half that's crippled. They're not looking at how slow you are or the issues you've had or what's ever gone on. They take it into consideration, and they know that maybe, they need to be a little more humble about the fact that they do have all their faculties and limbs coordinated with each other, and they can get enough exercise and they don't pack on the weight. They maybe take into consideration that those things have shaped your mind, but they're not looking at that. And so, yes, it's a bleed over, but no, that's not the character of this lifetime. This lifetime is you having to learn to overcome those limitations and not let them inhibit you from reaching out and finding that right someone or being available in the right areas and putting yourself out to communicate appropriately. You've overcome all of that in this lifetime, Ernesto. You're very literate in who you are, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You're very literate in what you want and how you want to be treated. You're very understanding that all people are not capable of loving you the way you need to be loved. So a lot of the work that this lifetime set out for you to do has been accomplished. So don't feel any different about that in the way you are, who you are. No, you might look in the mirror and see, like you said, the college frat king, but the reality of it is that was your ego's attempt to help you overcome what could have been a catastrophe in your mental health. Instead of just emotionally shut down, you would have been so self-aware and self-conscious of who you are inside that body that you wouldn't have ever succeeded at doing anything else but being afraid to put yourself out there and pitying you. So hang in there with that. You're fine with where you're at in your mind, and you are going to get better, and you are going to succeed in making strides where the weight loss and anything else is concerned that you want to accomplish, because you'll have more time. And that's the whole point. This isn't the end of the road. So you've got more time to continue to improve your situation physically. Does that answer your question?
It does, yes. And here's kind of really what keeps me going, is as it's a relatively common in the human experience to feel beat down and defeated by so many rejections and the fact that you can't get a date and all of this stuff. I I learned to just quit caring about all of that. Let's take control of the variables that I do have control of. Those are the things that do affect my happiness. All of this online nebulous
Yeah.
crap that doesn't. My goal for 2023 is to get the heck out of Facebook. Like I don't care how great it is or how much it may benefit my business and that kind of stuff. It's toxic. It is fake. I don't want anything to do with it. That is the narcissistic abuser of my life at this point is Facebook. Go away, get the heck out of my life. And so I don't really care what may come in the future. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And I just want to say that we do have a call that just came in. It's in all ones. So we are going to go off and take that right now. So, hi, you're on the Celestial Intersections radio show. May I have your name and date of birth, please? Hello? Are you there with us?
Did you unmute it?
I did, yes. Hello, if you're there, we are unable to hear you. Please give us a call back. We are here 2 nights a week, and we will be back Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Okay, and they hung up. So I guess they didn't want to talk. I guess they were just listening rather than didn't want to talk to us. That's okay. But yeah, this has been my experiences.
Do they have to call that number to listen to us?
Well, I don't know. I think it may have been international. Like sometimes we had this thing with Canada where like these people will call in and, they come in as all ones, or sometimes people will come in as a private number and they'll do that too. It's really weird how it happens. So but they call back. So let's try again. Hi, you're on the Celestial Intersections radio show. May I have your name and date of birth, please?
Hi, good morning. My name is Becky. I have called in before.
Becky, all right, perfect. I got you, yes.
How are you? And I could hear you, but it was not, I don't know, hello, and nothing was going on, so I don't know.
No, that was some weirdness. I'm glad you gave us a call back.
Because that was me that called before.
Yep, and we got you up, Becky. Now, do you have a question about something today, or would you just like a general reading?
No, just a general.
Okay, perfect. All right, Veretta, what you got?
A headache. Let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to find things that I haven't already approached for you, Becky. And I want to say that it's not this time frame, like right now, isn't anything new. I think you're going to be doing more of the same of what you're doing. I feel like your business, your business housekeeping, your travel agency, and doing your event planning is going to become a theme for you where you're juggling them. But you're going to be more hands-on. So I don't know if that means like you're going to actually have to do the housekeeping, or you're going to actually have to do some of the event preparation, not just the planning, and then supply, like cater to. And I feel like the traveling, you're I don't know, I don't want to say you're overboard with it, but it's almost like something may occur that's going to put it in perspective that's not entirely what you want to have happen, so it's not something you want to continue to do. That may have to do with the cruises that you weren't happy with before. I feel like you're going to have one main event take place during a travel time that's really just going to put the cap on it for you. It's not going to be something it's not something you're ready for. It's not something you bargained for, and so therefore you're kind of done with it. You're over it. I feel like when I go out far enough, I feel like there's something new coming. I feel like it has to do with an offshoot of what like your brand is. So whether it's housekeeping, travel agencies, or event planning, I'm not sure. I'm tempted to want to say you're going to combine one of two things. You're going to combine an event on a cruise or an event on during traveling. And that's where what you're going to look for. You're going to look for the big themes, the big ticket items, not just planning things here in the U.S., but planning things abroad. And you're going to combine the traveling and the event planning together. But that's like way down the line, after June, after July, maybe even closer to October. So I want to say, whatever you've got going on in October, that may catalyst you into seeing another opportunity that you're really built for and you're able to do, and it's easy, and it's almost like the information comes from above. You don't really have to struggle to make it work, but you won't know what it is till you get there. It won't be apparent to you until you get to that time and experience something, and then you put it all together and you realize, wow, I could be doing this there and I could really make some money. So it feels to me like up until that time, October, you're status quo. May and June, I think, are where I'm seeing you having to take control or do a hands-on with something that you're not really thrilled about having to pick up the ball for. The senior trip?
It's a senior trip. Yeah, it's a senior trip that is just, and you're hitting everything right on the ball, because I'm finding out that my clients that travel only want to travel when I'm going along with. Well, that takes away from my income. And so I'm struggling to do A, B, and C and add 1, 2, 3 in between A, B, and C, and it's becoming overwhelming. And I still have to conduct business, and to travel and conduct business is just too much. So, and yes, I'd rather have the big ticket items than the little stuff, because I don't make any money. And it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Ernesto says, and maybe he can give a little more detail to this. So Ernesto, you chime on in and dial our chart up.
Yeah, so I just now put your chart up on our YouTube stream if you're watching that one at all with us. So you can see some stuff here that I'm marking here on your chart. And, really, Becky, the thing that I'm picking up about the work situation is it seems like, do you have any employees, or is it just you?
So I don't have really employees. I have, it depends on which business. So I have employees on my house cleaning business, and then I have what we call outside agents, which are their own bosses, but they do work underneath me, and I have 2 of those. And I don't have enough.
Yeah, because I get the sense that, like you're going to be losing some personnel or saying goodbye to people. Like there is something about the way that your businesses are operating that's really causing them to implode. And, it doesn't have to be this way. And it's specific. I want to say that people are like stealing, maybe, or perhaps maybe that might be too harsh of a word, but there is just something not right about it. Like, and you'll notice this, it'll become more clear to you, I think, over the next couple of months that, you're going to start to get some word about things that are just sounding a little bit off. And, that's going to cause you to be getting rid of people. And I think that a major cleaning of house or a reckoning in that way is really going to benefit you as far as the work is concerned. And that's going to be a major goal for you for this year also is, getting rid of those connections, because they're just not helping you. And it's causing so much distress that if you don't do anything about this, it's going to cause an end of an activity, and I want to say that that's more like a forced retirement. But it's not really a true retirement. It's more like this business endeavor that I started for myself way back when. I let that slide and, didn't take care of it. So now I have to say goodbye to the business and work for some other crap company that I don't want to work for because I know that I'm better than this. It's going to end up becoming like really difficult conversations for you that you're not going to like. So I think that that's going to be something that you will be dealing with this year is doing a cleaning of house. And then that's going to bring so much lightness, to your travel experience, to where you're getting the fulfillment and enjoyment out of these activities where you're not right now. Like right now, it seems more like a chore. And, it never used to be that way. And it's kind of creating, that emotional cancer situation. That's kind of our word of the day here on the show. So I think that,
would you say it's the travel agency, or would you say it's the other? Because you can't steal from travel.
Other.
It's the other one
Other.
for sure. Yeah.
It's the other.
Yeah, it deals more with like
Okay.
service work, cleaning stuff, like that type of thing, sanitation. That's going to be where you're
Hmm.
where the leak is
Okay.
at right now that you need to address.
Yeah.
And I think, Retta, you have said that before,
Well, have I?
or that it
Okay.
was
Well,
coming.
then I'm thinking that's coming down the line. It's this year for sure, and you're gonna have, like Ernesto's saying, you're gonna have a lot more information to validate what we're saying right now.
Hmm. Okay.
And don't
Well,
don't be upset about it. Like don't try to get emotions involved.
no.
Just be that yeah.
I've done it for so long, and it's not my first rodeo. It's happened before. They just get too comfortable. So I know exactly what it is.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, it's happening again, and
All right.
so
Well, that's good.
yeah, that'll be this year for you.
Okay.
And
And anything else on the horizon?
Yeah, I do see a lot. This is going to be a lot of travel for you. That's definitely happening. I think that it's the travel itself, the caliber of your travel. You're going to like it. It's going to be with friends. It may seem a little bit more like work, but I think that so long as the terms and conditions are all made clear and upfront before you put on the rose-colored glasses, then it's smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
there's a
know
lot going
that.
on.
Yeah, definitely for the travel. But I'm thinking also in reference to what more you'd like to know would be in relationship category. And so I feel like I want to say you can look at this new gentleman in your life as someone that is a possibility. But it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to have to take time to get to know him, and you're going to have to take time to accept the fact that he wants to get to know you. So it's not going to be an overnight wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of thing. It's going to be something that you take your time. I feel like the not knowing part's temporary. I think you're going to know pretty soon how you feel about this guy. And I'm going to feel like I want to say he's going to tell you what he's got going on. And I think one of the first things you're going to see as an indicator he's really kind of looking at you is he's getting rid of what he has. I mean, he's just ditching it. He's letting it go. There's not even a struggle in his mind. He's just cutting it off, moving forward with how to pursue slowly with you. So I feel like that is something that, and I feel like he'll be doing a lot of traveling with you. If you've got anything planned after the school trip or besides the school trip, in June or July, he'll be on board traveling with you from then on. You won't go alone. You'll have a companion that's more than just a paid customer by your side. You see that anywhere, Ernesto?
Yes, I was just taking a look at that. I added a relationship question here on this chart. So when we look at that, I've drawn some orange squares. They're around Hades, Admetos, and your directions. So what that tells me then is that whoever this person is, you've got some serious karma with them. Like you've got some stuff that you need to work out. The time has come that whatever this soul is supposed to work out with you, it's going to happen now. So like this is very deep and very powerful. Don't fight it. Just let your intuition run the show. Like the spirit knows exactly where you're going, and this is one of those types of things where, like our last caller Amala, that this is that easy street relationship. But you can't fight it. The more you fight it, and you say, why is this too simple? Like I'm not used to this. Like I'm used to the uphill battle, and this is the polar opposite of that experience. That this is this is going to be that relationship that's really going to fulfill you and make you happy. But just let it do its thing, and you'll be very pleased with the result. I think that this person is really somebody serious. This is a major relationship partner. Beretta, do you get that too?
100%. And so any Klingons that you still have to the side, once you're really understanding that this gentleman is honestly in it for the long haul, it's going to be easy for you to say bye, because it's not going to be relevant for you to put up with that crap anymore. It'll be a quick and easy, I'm not even talking to you anymore about this. The conversation we've had around this is, tenfold, 100 times the same thing over and over and over, and it gets nowhere. So just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. And you'll be done. You will 100% let go of that Klingon and know that the individual that's in front of you is in it for the long haul, and he'll be right by your side or anywhere else you want to put him. So don't worry about that either. Just let it organically die on the vine.
See, that's my biggest problem, Ernesto, is that every man, including parents, have always been narcissistic or controlling, and so when somebody that's quote unquote decent comes in, I don't know how to handle it, and that's where you're telling me let it happen. I don't know how to, so that's why I asked Beretta too, and I'm kind of I guess you could say I'm in denial because I don't know how to do it.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like when you end a narcissistic relationship and then you're coming to terms with reality and you realize that you are a decent person and that you are good at what you do and all of that kind of stuff. Absolutely 1,000,000% understanding, your point of view here. My thing for you, that your advice in this situation is talk to the guy, like send him a text message and be like, like of a cute, I don't know, animal meme, or say something like, hey, I just saw this and hope you're having a nice day kind of stuff. Keep the dialogue open. This is really somebody that you can talk to. They're not that type of person that's going to get back to you 3 or 4 days later. They actually do prioritize you. So my best advice to you in these situations when we don't really know what we're doing, because it's that fish out of water experience, turn the phone off. Just send the message and then walk away. Go and focus on yourself. All of this other stuff you don't need to get nervous about. Like, put the focus more on yourself, and just realize that this is the type of person that will get in touch with you when in their own time, when the time is right, and not in a weird, screwed up, like they have somebody else on the side kind of thing. It's more just like they need to do their thing, and I need to not be so creepy with my interpersonal relationships, because I've been damaged in that way. And by showing other people that damage that scares them, just try to be quiet, just let the cards fall where they may.
Okay. And so I want to ask another question to the two of you.
Okay.
Will the other dingling drop for good, or will he chase even harder?
Well, it's up to you, sweetie. If you keep answering the phone, he'll keep chasing. So I'm saying that will let it die on the vine. Let it die organically. Don't answer the phone. Don't reach out to him. Don't be available every time he wants to take time to let you in his world. Just let him go.
No, I don't do that anymore.
Let him go.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. Because it's always
let it die on the vine.
Now, you're not being stalked or anything like that. I mean, the best advice that I could give is, just don't engage. Block the number. Just walk away. The best way to get rid of these types of relationships, don't engage. Just don't give it the energy or attention. Maybe if you use a product or service that belongs to them, I wouldn't even use that either, because they still have their claws synced into you when we're using those other types of things. Right. So I mean, by releasing all of that, then you'll just realize that it's going to drop off. And I've always felt that. I remember us having conversations about this too, that this other person, that they would drop off by the wayside in their own time once your real relationship came along. So that's going to be where you're at right now. So just, you get the message, don't talk to it.
Okay. Makes sense. Well, it is slow. It's finally slowly a big realization to me that it's nothing.
Well,
and
hallelujah.
So when he does, I take 3 or 4 days before I return to him. So
just don't.
And so he's getting
don't
the
return at all.
Yeah, because that gives him power, and that keeps it alive, and we don't need to do that.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you as always.
And it's hard, Becky. It is so hard to pull ourselves away from these toxic relationships that no longer serve us. But like we as human beings, we feel like, but I have to have this because it's better than being alone, right? And that's why we always end up going back. But the result is never worth it. Like find something that you enjoy, an activity or an hobby to distract yourself with. So when you get those messages from this other person or phone calls, then you can go, bury yourself in this other thing to heal from the emotional jarring, distress of this contact that you didn't want.
Right. Well,
and so here's the other thing about that too. It was easy for you to let your ex become your ex. And if you say, well, I don't want to have to teach somebody all over again who I am and then be afraid that they're not going to like who I am, and you don't give a shit about that. Honestly, you care about who you are, and you let this other gentleman coming into your world know you care about who you are, and let the ex stay the ex, which you would do, but then let the Klingon become the ex as well, because honestly, he doesn't know who you are at this point, even though he's known you more than anybody else. So you really want that person that's going to come in.
But I did have problems when my ex-husband left. It was horrible. It was horrible.
I know it, but you made it through,
I was
didn't
never
you?
taught right to just let it go. Never was.
Just let it go.
I think that stems,
don't chase it.
Stems
don't
from my
beat
mom.
it up after
Sure.
the fact. Yeah, no, you can't do that. And this is where you're learning just to be, like Interesting said, just be silent.
Well, I've been
be
writing
silent
things down. Yeah, writing the things down, like good to the bad and what is comparable. So if he was permanently in my life, would he travel? No. Would he fly?
Yeah.
No. Would he? No. And everything reaches out to no. So what am I doing? My life is half over.
Well, you're spinning your tires.
It's not
this
happening.
Is where you're done.
Yeah.
It's done. So just let it be done.
I know him too.
And know that
he'll push harder.
No, well, maybe, but this is where you have control of that situation, and let him push all he wants. Yeah. He's pushing a freaking wall. Let him keep pushing it. It's not going anywhere. And you're not going to be there by his side to watch him fail. So just let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it was great to have you on the show again, Becky. We really appreciate having you here with us. And be sure to give us a call back and let us know how it turns out.
Thank you. Have a great day.
For sure. Talk to you soon. Until next time.
Blessings. Bye-bye.
Okay, and we were going to end the show because we have 2 minutes left. But, Bretta, can we take one more caller here?
I'm good with that, yeah.
All right, we're going to stick around. Hi, area code 914. You're on the Celestial Intersections radio show. May I have your name and date of birth, please?
Hi, yes, thank you. My name is Catherine, and my birthday is June 26th.
Catherine, have I ever read you before?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, all right, perfect. Then let me find you here. No, I don't have you in the system. All right, I can put you in, no worries.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and what was your birth date again?
June 26th. Do you need the year as well?
Yes.
Yes.
1975.
And at what time were you born?
5:26
AM or PM?
PM.
Okay, all right. And where were you born?
Bronx, New York.
All right, perfect. All right, and Catherine, would you like a general reading today, or do you have a specific question about an issue?
General, please. Yeah, because I'm wondering about work, but I don't have a specific question about work.
All right, perfect. All right,
so
take it away.
General?
What you got?
Yes.
All right, Catherine, let's take a look at work.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's see. All right, so I feel like you're going to do something that utilizes your talent. I feel like this is going to be an opportunity for you to do more of what you like or want. I feel like it gives you the opportunity also to express yourself and to become known for your talent. And it may be a very subtle application of getting your name in there, but it feels to me like you'll have ample work. You'll have the supply will not dry up once people know who you are and what you do. It also feels to me like it will provide the kind of lifestyle, or continue to provide, and then maybe even, I want to say the word reinstate, and I'm not sure why that comes in there, but it'll give you the opportunity to be more comfortable in your skin and around your home, and that your environment will be more suitable to you. It won't be something you have to provide what do I want to say, compensation to others or accommodation to others. It feels to me like you'll be doing your own thing again and getting gaining a rapport in your public. And so when I say your public, I mean that whatever you do is a specialty, or you specialize in a certain thing, and those people will become very literate that you're either on the market, back in the market, or that you can provide them with what they want, that they're going to want more, all the time more. So that's where I'm seeing that work is not at some point going to be a problem. Now, when I look at that time, two things pop up. So one thing is that if there's a lot of gray, which gray for me means you've got to make some decisions. One of the things that pops up is that you may need to make a move or look in a different direction than you've been looking. So like, say you kept going to the same place that you know would supply you the opportunity to learn, live, or express, you got to stop that. You got to go somewhere else. I feel like you can go back to that place once you get yourself situated, but you've got to really look in a different direction. Now, when I say that, I'm pulled immediately to my left, which means you got to go west, and I feel like you've got to go north a little bit, to northwest. I feel like it gives you opportunity to climb the ladder. It gives you opportunity to be what you want to, so people can behold all you have to offer. And then I also, the second thing is that I get, it will almost, I want to say, prove you or vindicate you or provide you with the ability to say, see, I told you I could, to someone that maybe give you the impression that you can't. So it's a double-fold reason for seeing the need to look outside of where you're looking now, because it'll really give you more opportunity than you had thought or than you could handle. So maybe Ernesto can give you a little bit more light on this and give you a time frame and like where you're going to go, what you're going to do.
That's amazing. Thank you. It's so true, because I've been wanting to move to California. So and I'm in New York. So, wow.
All right, love. Ernesto, what can you give her? Take it away.
Catherine, do you work in publishing? Are you an author?
I sort of, I'm an author, but for screenplays.
Okay, so you're a screenwriter.
But I used to work in publishing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, your chart, I'm like, so you work in some type of creative work that deals with writing, and that's immediately obvious to me, and you're very good at it too. So like, I would think this is like publishing, screenwriting, something like that, but you're more the writer than like the director or the actor, right?
I want to do the other things as well. I have acted as well. And I do like that as well. But yeah, I think writing is what comes easiest.
Yeah, that's really your strength, and you're very good at that. Are you a comedy writer? Is that what you would specialize in?
I'm pushing more that side of things. I've been more drama, but I am leaning a little bit more into comedy now.
Well, if you can do that hybrid comedy, like that's really popular in TV right now, like you have this chart as far as like the writing is concerned, you would be good at comedy, but you're also good about teaching people life lessons too. So like those, if you did some type of drama series, especially one that was geared more towards around like self-exploration and self-betterment. Like remember that TV series that they always have the subliminal messages that they put out, to the viewership. So The Good Place is probably one of the best modern examples in TV where they use subliminal messaging for a positive reason. And the show's, narrative is to challenge you to become a better person, which is really what it does. So if you can use some type of gimmicky device like that in your writing, centered around a story like, perhaps a murder mystery or, like a bank heist or something like that, whatever subjects make you excited, I think that if you can gear it to where like your characters become better people as a result of that, then that's gonna be the type of thing that gets producers interested in your work. That's actually your brand of writing is, like, people learning to do the right thing and coming through these like spiritual lessons as a result of their experiences and whatever story or difficulty you may put them through as the writer. I do agree that there are some move issues that are going to be coming up here. And let me take a look at that one a little bit more. So yeah, this would speak to if you moved, like there's definitely a lot of work here for you. And I want to say that like you being a production assistant or you working in the industry in some way, that this is going to be something that you would be really good at. And it's also going to be something that is going to, be the work that you're looking for. So if you haven't looked for PA jobs already, I would start doing that. And it's also a really great way to make connections in the industry. That's why most people take those jobs. I feel like that's going to be something that'll be very strong for you this year, to make those connections. You are definitely coming into contact with a new group of people and some new work. So you are going to go through a career change this year, and that's going to be more related, I think, to the creative stuff. So all of your screenwriting endeavors, anything that's motion picture related, those are going to be the types of work projects that you're going to want to look into, because that's going to be where like all of your strengths and talents are. And when you're in the right area, it doesn't really matter where you are or what you look like. People can just kind of unconsciously recognize by the name, like, oh, I like this person, I don't know why, but I do. And you've kind of got one of those namesakes that really speaks out to people on a list. So I'd really like to see you getting out there and, really working more towards, fulfilling your dreams of being, a known screenwriter or, an actor, director kind of thing, because that's all here for you. And this is going to be a big year when you start to either explore that or just, live through a whole bunch of regret, like, why did I not do this for myself? Because this is the time. It's either go big or go home, and it's right now.
Wow. And is this move this year? Do you? Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. No, that was really powerful. Wow.
I would say the move, yes, can be this year.
The move can be this year?
Can be, yeah. Hear the word can be. Words can be.
Yeah, and remember that gets more into like, if it's that easy street, like everything clicks, then go for it. Don't fight it. That's meant to be. But
don't fight it.
Yeah, if it's just kind of like there are too many difficulties. How the heck am I going to afford $3,000 a month and all of this crazy stuff when I'm only making a PA salary? Like those questions, and then you can't find housing or roommates or transportation or whatever, and everything is just a red flag and a roadblock. Then it may not be the right time to do those things. That's something that we can get more into in a private consult, is to break down that time frame of when you would move. But this is definitely going to be a year where you will have opportunities to move, and if you're getting nothing but green lights and it's all moving, go for it. And don't be worried about it going too fast. Just follow your dreams, honey, because this is it. This is the year.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you both so much. I'm giving you virtual hugs and blessings. And just thank you.
Yeah, well,
oh my goodness, thank you.
It was great to have you on the show, Catherine. I just want to leave you with this one last piece of information that's an aside from everything else we've already discussed. Work on your spiritual self. Like I really want to see you doing more with spirituality. If that's, like you're starting to dabble with tarot cards or playing, with like spirit communication, like that spiritual self, that's going to be how you really get a lot of that creative juice to just kind of start seeping from your pores, is by tapping into that spiritual body. Like once you get into that, you're going to be really surprised about the direction and height that life can take you. So that's going to be your out in all of this when you're feeling sort of lost or, like just overwhelmed or not really unsure or even just unsure of what to do, turn to spirit and like work on that side of yourself because there's a lot of really beautiful answers that you haven't even tapped into yet.
Wow. Wow, yes, I'm trying to work with the pendulum and paying more attention to my dreams and everything. Yeah, so you're so right. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, well, it was great.
You two were just fabulous.
No, it was. We'd love to hear that, Catherine. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and give us a call back in the future to let us know how things are going.
Thank you. I will. Thank you. Much love and many blessings to you both. Thank you so much.
Many blessings to you too.
Yeah, many blessings. Take care. Until next time. Okay, all right. And it looks like that is it for the show. We went a little bit over. We're normally on for an hour, but we just wanted to take that last call. What a great call. Thank Catherine again. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today. We will be back with you guys Wednesday evening for a 1 hour show from 6 to 7 p.m. And for all other things Uranian Astrology, be sure to check out eastrologer.tv. And Beretta, thank you so much for being on the show. We really love having you here. It's always great to work with us, to work with you. You and I, we're kind of like...
I love it too.
You and I are like, we're like Oreo and cream, peanut butter and jelly, strawberry and banana. You can't have one of us without the other.
Yep.
Yeah. So...
we enhance what we have to offer. Yep.
Thank you everybody for calling the show today. It was awesome. We love having you, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share. We will catch up with you guys real soon on our Wednesday evening program, and have a great rest of your week. We really wish you all the best.
Yes. And Super Bowl fans, get geared up for game time and enjoy yourself. Blessings.
Many blessings. Until next time. Good luck and Godspeed.